This is your daily briefing, and you're most welcome to it. 0-0 at Goodison, not a great game of football, more wacky races, and let's get some home truths out of the way, and then we can kind of drift into the numbers, get a flavour of a sense of things. Harry Kane's road testing of the Void 3000 invisibility cloak is going very well indeed, and against Everton there are only one or two very minor glitches in the coding, as we can see from this heat map. Chilly Willy, nothing worse than a cool tool. Absolutely desperate. Well done, Daniel. You won. You're happy with that. You won. Dele Alli's unselectability must surely have even permeated Daniel's brain at this stage. Can't buy a game of football under any manager worth a damn, and in actual fact, as proved under Nuno, it'd be perfectly natural for any third-rate coach to lose interest in the boy in less than 10 games. Equally worrying, equally disturbing, and don't forget, this sort of stuff permeates throughout the squad, but we've got two players there who are supposed to have a bit of magic about them. We've got Dele Alli and Tanguy Ndombele, and neither can command a starting berth in the starting 11. You need to get players competing and fighting and chomping at the bit. And this just isn't happening. Emerson Royal is still garnering plenty of praise from fans despite still having achieved very little of note. Against Everton, the quality of his passing decreased the higher he got up the pitch. Managed just one cross and it didn't go to a Tottenham player. Eric Dyer was a catastrophic free error zone for once, and amounted a whopping 96% passing accuracy and a frankly magnificent 87% total successful actions. Gave the ball away on very few occasions. Much improved. More please. Oliver Skipp was rock solid. 93% passing accuracy is right on the money. Also, he only lost the ball on 4 occasions, twice in our own half. Difficult to get excited about defensive midfield players, but Skipp very much keeping his brain switched on, concentration levels right up there where they should be. The tempo of Tottenham's play is improved, but this just reminds me of the old Morecambe and Wise sketch where you're playing the right notes but not necessarily in the right order. So Spurs look more animated, and we absolutely are, but that means we've gone from watching a Chekhov play to having a subscription to the Nickelodeon channel. The intensity so far has come at a price, which is that Spurs look wholly incompetent offensively. We still can't cross a ball to save our lives, and perhaps Sergio Reguilon sums up the attacking inadequacies of Tottenham to an extent. Whatever happened to that bright young buck from Real Madrid? 63% passing accuracy, which is rubbish, and also lost possession 10 times, which incidentally is the same number as Emerson Royal lost the ball. So wandering into the depths of the numbers, it's the weeds, it really is. But when you're talking about the absence of creativity, then you're not just talking about fine margins. And just to give you an indicator, and I don't want to go into the depths of this with you, I really don't, but in the Premier League's top 30 progressive passers, there isn't a Tottenham player. And that's the same story in respect of what they call deep completions. And, you know, like I say, that's a rabbit hole of information. You don't want to go too far down. But what we're finding out here is that Conte has it all to do. Clean sheet, a hint of improvement. If it was, then the gaffer repeatedly using the word improve and variants thereof made the whole thing less cheery. The squad is not a doer-upper, it's a complete redevelopment job. And the idea that a bunch of players who are far from strangers to each other simply need to be reintroduced to each other with some tactical tweaking is at best naive. A couple of good tweets came out during and after the game. Our old pal Fallon82, don't kid yourself that this team is going anywhere just because Conte is in charge. Without some serious investment in proper players, this team is bang average. And Jonathan Veal, Press Association Sport, a wry dig, shots on target are overrated anyway. There will be some that roll their eyes, but the only path out of this entirely self-inflicted and idiotic maze is to sell and reinvest the monies in new players. We've covered the pitfalls of this already, but if Paratici and Hitchin are worth even minimum wage, they need to start their plan of action for exit strategies now, and we don't need to be told with mumbling and staring at the floor, oh, it was ever so difficult and January's not a great window. We know all that, and what we need is for Levy to step forward, lead from the front and be the catalyst for change, and don't hide behind anybody anymore. Get on with it. We all know the alternative to this, not because of any psychic talents, but because we've seen it all before, which is why we're here now looking at the same dysfunctional mess. Everybody out there who's passed on the pro-ENIC propaganda, you were desperately wrong, and the rest of us will continue to be proved painfully right. Sure, things have improved, but in the sense of the short term, in the last 10 days or whatever. But we've just binned a broken man, which is a positive, and replaced him with a serial winner, which is another positive. But he's staring at the same consequences of neglect. Another interlull, and perhaps Daniel is going to ponder what he can do to fix another season of confusion and bewilderment. You are the CEO last time I checked. And let me leave you with this. If you thought that was a kicking, let me leave you with these last four pointers for your consideration. Ben Davis, 7 years. Dele Alli, 6 years. Eric Dyer, 7 years. Harry Winks, 7 years. That's the problem, folks. That's the problem right there. Daniel? Good luck. Keep it on.